Hey queens, kings, and everyone else in between or outside the scene. I'm Kelly Queen Miller, aka K Miller, and today we're doing a video on bigots. So let's get into it. But before we do, let's see what the definition of a bigot is. So the definition of a bigot on Google states, a person who is sustainably or unreasonably attached to a belief, opinion, or faction, especially one who is prejudiced against or antagonistic towards a person or people on the bias of their membership of a particular group. Which just means if you have any hatred, unjustified hatred, most importantly, or dislike, distaste towards anybody from a particular group, whether that is part of LGBTQ culture, their weight, anything. That means any people society groups together. So yes, there's going to be a lot of diverse bigots in this video. So let's get into them. So the first ones I want to go into. Oh, by the way, if I didn't mention, this is my sister's phone. But the first ones I want to go into is the people like this that repeatedly, like this, comment on certain people's videos, just being absolute a-holes. Truly. I mean, there's no other way to say it, because they go out of their way to just be hateful, repeatedly commenting multiple times. Sometimes in a few days, having so many comments on the channel on a freshly new made account. That's how much people hate other people. And I just kind of wanted to bring attention to these guys because I've had a majority of these saved in my phone for a couple months now. I just never really gotten around to them, and perfect time to, call them out now. They are bigots, and it's absolutely assholey what they do. Alrighty, now let's move on to Reddit. So, there is this post that somebody made that says there's more than two sexes, and the post is actually pretty good. That's not what we're talking about here. I'll pause to read if you would like to see it. But yes, the post is good. The post is fine. What I want to talk about in this video is the comments, because they are awful. One commenter says, "We are a sexually dimorphic species. Hermaphroditic mutations are the exceptions that prove the rule, not some other unknown sex." Which is it's a load of bullshit, because calling people mutations, it's just awful. I mean, like, if we're gonna make pop culture reference, have you ever seen X-Men? Come on now. That's stupid. But yes, like, we cannot classify humans the same way we classify other animals. Because of the fact when we first created our laws and systems, we thought humans were different from animals. So we just literally cannot go back to classifying us the same way. And so just saying words like mutations and stuff like that is just really disrespectful and just should not be tolerated in the world that we have created. It's unfortunate that we've created the world the way we have, but we have, and now we have to deal with it. And so it's the same reason why we can't say other races are such thing as subspecies or other species. So this is just really disrespectful, and this is the bull that can really get laws changed in horrific ways. Another commenter says they're not sexist, they're developmental defects, which is also very disrespectful. Also, people are acting like we don't learn new science every single day. Like, just because we thought there were only a few sexes in the beginning doesn't mean anything. Also, a lot of these people are excluding intersex people just to be bigoted, and it's absolutely awful. And here, OP, replied with a lot of sources, basically doing what they did with the last commenter, and that's really good, because instead of just going off of these people, actually make them learn about it, because that's what I do anytime I don't know something. I research it. I may even do a simple research as just searching on Google, just a simple search, maybe even look at the AI search result thing and be like, okay, this is it. If I just want a simple answer, that's all you have to do, instead of being disrespectful and bigoted. So now, let's move on to another Reddit post. Oh, this one infuriates me a bit. The title is "The Reality of When a Girl Posts Online About the Lack of Men Going to Dating Events." So it says, "Woman, I am so lonely. Woman, why must I live life alone in solitude? Also, woman, don't touch me. Also, woman, will this loneliness ever end?" And what really infuriates me about this is that they really think they have the right to touch or be in anybody's personal space. You know, there's reasons why women don't want you touching them. If somebody doesn't want you touching them, just don't touch them. Women or not. Like, what do you not understand? That's my main point with this, is that they think this is okay. That they would make a post about it, and that people also will comment, also believing that they are in the right. Look at this comment. "It seems to me like single women are doing their best to stay single. They keep coming up with new words to push men away. The ick, the spark, bad vibes, etc. You know, I wonder why." But let's keep on reading. I get it. You want a quality man, whatever the fuck. You know, it infuriates me because, like, what you mean, whatever the fuck that is. But can we please acknowledge that a lot of women these days have unrealistic standards? There's just so much, only so much, a man can do before he completely gives up on finding the right woman. And then somebody else says, "Have unrealistic standards are the self insufferable." It's just a load of bullshit. I mean, like, just be a good guy and not a nice guy. A good guy. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I'm a child and I know infinitely more. There's so many of these people, and it's just absolutely insane. So anyways, queens, let's move over to another post on r/women. The title is "Sent Body Count Videos." I would just sum this up, basically, because I don't want to read it out. It's just going to really infuriate me. It's going to really piss me off. Okay? I know how to keep my cool, but at the same time, it's the fact that, like, I see this on a daily basis, and it's just really annoying that these guys still think they're in the right. I know me, like, yelling and getting angry isn't even the best thing here. So, yeah. Okay, so basically here, this woman says that her boyfriend started sending her videos and just telling her about all this horrible stuff. I'm going to read the first little bit here. So it says, "My boyfriend of a few months started sending me these videos about how women's DNA gets altered by the DNA of sperm of past partners." And that right there is already enough. That is not true. You do any simple research, you would know that is not true. Like, I don't understand people could take this knowledge and spread it to so many people and not just do a simple search on any single search engine and realize that is awful. That's awful information. I mean, I feel like it's as clear as fucking day, you know? Excuse my language, but for real, how can this spread? I mean, like, it's the fact that they say a lot of activists or a lot of people that are actually educated are in the wrong. When in fact, they just aren't educated themselves and don't even know how to educate themselves. And it's just quite annoying. Alright, Queen, so I kind of had to change my camera position because my legs got tired. And yes, I know I'm standing now, but trust me, squatting is way worse. Anyways, let's move on to another Reddit post, but this one is a little bit more, I don't know. It infuriates me less. It still gets me angry, but yeah. Alright, so this post is on r/male to female, and a trans woman told this guy she was seeing for a while that she was trans. And so this guy just basically just left her. And that's truly awful because nothing changes. Literally nothing changes. That's what really hurts about this entire situation. But you know it happens. And the people in the comments reassure them and say you'll find the right person eventually. But it's just really awful that this still happens. Like nothing changes. Maybe if you want to have biological children, maybe if you want to have sexual interaction a certain way. But first of all, I don't really even understand the obsession with biological children. Like if anybody in the comments just really want a biological child instead of just like going any other way, I don't quite understand that obsession. But also, literally just nothing changes besides that. Like I said, maybe the sexual situation. But like it doesn't really, because if you already been doing it or haven't already been doing it, you know what I mean? Nothing changes. So it's just really awful that this still happens. And also here I want to shout out some older trans people here, because despite what a lot of people say, we can grow old, we can have lives. This is not a phase. This is who we are. This post from Psych, and it says leftists will post things like this and then say looks don't matter and it's your personality. And it's about a right wing versus left wing shooter, and I just say it's a load of bullshit. It's a load of bullshit because looks don't matter, your personality matters, and the fact that these people just want to keep arguing that the looks do matter is just so pathetic. So absolutely pathetic. I mean, like, have you seen a lot of left wing people? I mean, that should tell you that right there. Do I even need to say anything else? Um, I am just going really hard in this video, and I do apologize because this is not the best way to kind of change the society, but at the same time, I mean, just use your brain. Absolutely use your brain, and you will realize a lot of what we're saying, if not majority of what a lot of left people are saying, are the right opinions because we have the facts. So now let's get into some videos. So this first one is going to be a couple conservative kids just talking about the being conservative. So I'm going to explain my feelings on the whole matter afterwards. But before I even do that, I really want to say I do not blame the kids in this scenario. In this situation, I do not blame the kids. But anyways, here we go.
I'm a conservative kid. Of course a good life includes the mind, body, and spirit.
I'm a conservative kid. Of course I'm immune to name-calling and intimidation. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I understand the concept of delayed gratification.
I'm a conservative kid. Of course I know struggle is just a part of life.
I'm a conservative kid. Of course I believe in personal responsibility. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I believe that a strong community starts with a strong individual. I'm a conservative kid. Of course I know how many genders there are.
What I first want to point out is the fact that these kids are not at fault here. Is their caregivers, their guardians, whoever lived with them that taught them this, probably their parents. It's awful because, I mean, it just sucks that there's kids like this just saying this. As a kid myself that has had a rough past, but still somehow, some way, has come out of that with good opinions. I just really hate to see this. But also what I want to point out is this comment here, which is pretty funny. It's taking the piss out of the kids, which I do not like because it's not their fault, but it's really important to point out this. Comment says, of course I know struggle is part of life, as they talk outside of nice expensive house with a pool. And this is very much true. I mean, I don't got anything like this whatsoever. But anyways, let's move on to the next clip. So this one is about a pastor and a whole church just absolutely disrespecting women and their rights. Once again, I'm going to let you view it, and then I'm going to talk about it afterwards.
Women are the kind of people that people come out of.
So you just think they're meant to have babies. That's it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce biologically. The wife and mother, who is the chief executive of the home, is entrusted with 3 or 4 or 5 eternal souls.
I'm here as a working journalist, and I'm a mom of 3.
Good for you.
Is that an issue for
No,
you?
no, it's not automatically an issue.
Christ Church senior pastor Doug Wilson is the leader of a Christian nationalist movement that believes in a patriarchal society where men are dominant and women are expected to submit to their husbands. Josh and Amy Prince, along with their 4 kids, moved from Washington State to Moscow, Idaho, where Wilson's movement is based.
Do you see Amy as your equal?
Yes and no. In the sense that we're both saved by grace, we're absolutely on equal footing. But we have very different purposes, God-given.
But do you see yourself as the head of the household, as the man?
He is the head of our household.
Yes.
Yes, and I do submit to him.
So like moving here
I was just
was
gonna say that.
ultimately your decision.
Yes.
That's a great
example.
Wilson says in his vision of a Christian society, women as individuals shouldn't be able to vote. His fellow pastors Jared Longshore and Toby Sumter agree.
In my ideal society, we would vote as households. And I would ordinarily be the one that would cast the vote, but I would cast the vote having discussed it with my household.
But what if there's your wife doesn't want to vote for the same
Right.
person as you?
Right. Well, then that's a great opportunity for a good discussion.
There are some who have gone so far as to say that they want the 19th Amendment repealed.
I would support that. And I'd support it on the basis that the atomization that comes with our current system is not good for humans.
And Wilson, a veteran himself, is unapologetic about his view that women shouldn't be in certain leadership or combat roles.
Looking at the leadership page for Christ Church,
Right.
It's all men. Do you accept women in leadership roles in the church and in government?
In the church, no.
Why?
Because the Bible says not to.
Well, that's not what happens in the Bible. Women do lead all the time.
Progressive faith leader Reverend Jennifer Butler is concerned about Wilson's growing influence.
He is rapidly gaining in power. He has hundreds of churches established around the country. They actually literally want to take over towns and cities, and they have access to this administration.
Wilson's highest level connection to the administration is Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
It's not organizationally tied to us, but it's the kind of thing we love to see.
For his part, Hegseth has publicly praised Wilson.
Now we're standing on the shoulders of a generation later, the Doug Wilsons and the others.
All right, so what I want to talk about with that clip first is the fact that I absolutely love the reporter's attitude throughout. Her face, amazing. She does everything up there. But also the fact that these people, these very awful, bigoted people, have connections in the government. I mean, there's nothing new. It doesn't surprise me whatsoever. But it is just something else that really annoys me about a lot of these people is the fact that they have such positions of power that they abuse. And yet, they are still allowed to keep that position of power. It just really sucks. It's awful. And another thing I want to talk about in that video is the fact that when the guy says that they vote as a household, what he really means is it's just him voting. Not his partner, just him. These people only have ill intentions. You don't want to take away women's rights for the betterment of society because there's no betterment. You want to take away women's rights just because you disrespect women and you want to be in power. That's all it is. But anyways, let's move on to another clip. What is this gesture? That's weird. Anyways, let's move on. Alright, so this next clip is actually a song, so I don't know if I'll get copyrighted for it. That'll suck. But I'll just mute the entire audio. For now, I'll play it in the video. If I get copyrighted, I'll mute the audio in post after it's edited. But yeah, here you go.
You're not gay, it's a demon that's inside of you. You ain't born that way, don't let it try to lie to you. I rebuke demons up by faith, hope you find the truth. I'm exposing these demons that try to hide in you. Pride stands for the land of the pigs, where they like to be trans and start playing with some kids. That bathroom's for girls, so we can't let you in. Steve, you ain't fooling no one, you're just a man in a wig. You're not gay, more like insane. Being raised me right. You think you a woman cause you rockin' a stiletto? Don't make me get my airsoft, I'm knocking off a pedo. All y'all gonna be burning like the rich man. You are not a woman, just a dude with some implants.
Okay, so I want to note here, like I did before, that I do not blame the kids. There was a goddamn bug in my goddamn glasses. It flew in as I was talking. Anyways, so what I want to say is I do not blame the kid here. I blame what I assume is the dad in this clip, which is just, obviously the adults in the situation is the issues because they instill these concepts and beliefs in these kids. But also I want to say that calling a whole group of people predators, absolutely awful and unacceptable. You say that about any race. You say that about any... I don't know why I keep just saying race and culture and weight, but weight. Anybody that is skinny or anybody that has a lot of extra weight to them, you say that about them and you're awful. But then you say it about queer people because we are kind of a more newly accepted part of society. Oh, okay, that's awful. And by the way, I want to clarify newly accepted in the West. But anyways, another thing I want to point out here is the fact that they literally threaten to do a hate crime. They say they want to knock off some pedos and have an airsoft gun or whatever. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you saying that you're going to kill a whole group of people? Are you absolutely insane, mate? Like, what is going on? I don't understand these people can do this. Literally have to produce and make an entire song and still didn't see that they were in the wrong. I mean, it's insane. It is absolutely just insanity. But anyways, let's get to the last clip here. Oh my gosh. A neurodivergent. The divergency. The neurodivergency is showing. Because my words, I'm not really speaking my words right. Also, I bet that was a very weird laugh. Alright, so the last one here is talking about neopronouns, and it really sucks because I literally just stumbled upon this, and it's awful that an official news site really just laughed off an entire group of people. This happened, I believe, in 2022, so it's a while ago. But either way, it happened, and that sucks because thousands of people saw it on the YouTube. Hundreds of thousands of people actually saw it. It's just awful. And there's thousands of likes. Comments that have hundreds of likes that are just awful and bigoted. But anyways, I'll let you watch the video and then I'm going to state my opinion.
Prue, let's start with a learning exercise. And this young lass is telling us how to correctly use frog pronouns, because that's a thing now.
Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use frogs, pronouns, and sentences, so let's go! Because that means that the person that's using these neo-pronouns is staying super curious about frog self and wants to know more about frog self. And I, as a non-neo-pronoun user, respect the hell out of that, because that takes so much courage. And if you need more help on how to use neo-pronouns and sentences, go here!
I hope you'll be checking the web for how to correctly use neo-pronouns. I mean, forget about 150. There's possibly now thousands of these identities that we also have to respect.
What the frog was she saying? I mean, I just didn't get it at all. But she's obviously got out of her straitjacket to do this.
Well, yeah, it was an interesting outfit. Now,
so yeah, it's absolutely awful how they just laughed off a whole entire group of people and made offensive comments. And they had to go out of their way to make a stupid ass pun. I mean, I'm not going easy on these people at all because they are fully functioning adults that should know better. But also, I want to say this. They're laughing off people that use neuropronouns, right? They're saying, oh, you must have got out of a straitjacket, talking about this YouTuber, which I've covered in this short, linked here. Literally talking about this YouTuber like that, and it's like, you want to know something? they used to say the same thing about women. Very similar statements about women. So think about that. Think about that anytime you're being bigoted towards a certain group of people. Think about the fact that they probably used to do it to the group that you're in. Yeah. Anyways, Queens. So that was a very long video. Very tiring. Kind of one of the first I did. I originally tried to record this in my room and it didn't quite work. It's supposed to be recorded like weeks ago. But anyways, I got through it. So yeah. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Hopefully I was able to make a difference. And hopefully you all have an amazing, lovely day. Bye.
Thank you.